Good day and welcome back. As the name suggests, we are going to take a look back to the well-known aircraft carrier from Ironblood. Well, I don't know, is it well-known character, but anyway. A second time, thanks to the augment module, the Azur lane recently added, which now relates for this video to be released. If you want to know more about Graf Zeppelin class, I'm going to add that video link at the end of this video. Now, without further ado, let's take a look at her stats just real quick. Now, quickly, just want to mention, because she is Graf Zeppelin class aircraft carrier, a second ship of the class, the stats goes thus. She has the same luck as a Zeppelin, armor, speed, health, cost, and then evasion. But she has slightly lower AA, but she has higher accuracy and higher reload compared to Graf Zeppelin. Now I also want to point out that who carries the most health among all the carriers? Well, according to the level 120, Northern Parliament Admiral Nakimov goes to first place, the second goes to Sinano, and the third place go Fritz roommate. But her augment module is what now led us today. Sorry about my English. Her augment module, the Punctualist's Ceremonial Needle, gives her extra aviation, extra reload, and mode effect. I'm not sure what is the full reference of the mode effect. Every battle, when this ship launches her first airstrike, increases your main fleet's aviation by 20 for 10 seconds. This skill cannot stack with itself. Now, her skill upgrade. When this ship launches an airstrike, 100% chance to launch an additional torpedo bomber airstrike. When this effect activates, sets the speed of all enemies to 0 for 3 seconds. Increases your Ironblood ship's damage dealt to enemies with 0 speed by 10%. Now, which then led to give you more information about Peter Strasser. Her original skill goes like this, without the augment module. When this ship launches an airstrike, 100% chance to launch an additional torpedo bomber airstrike. Damage is based on the skill level. That is her original Ironblood Falcon skill. Now when we go to Paralyze in Advance, decreases the speed of all enemies by 8%. Once every second, 10% chance to set the speed of all enemies to 0 for 3 seconds. Now 7-second cooldown between activations. Now, her second skill is Iron Wings, Blood Pinions. For each Arbloss ship in the same fleet, increases this ship aviation by 5%, can be stacked up to 3 times. If there are 4 or more Arbloss ships in the same fleet, reduces the time needed for your Arbloss carriers and light carriers to reload their first 3 airstrikes by 10%. Now then, what is this video for? It's her skill to stop enemies, because Paralyzing Advance is based on every seconds that has 10% chance to stop enemies completely by 3 seconds, excuse me. Now we have Iron Blood Falcon, which then adds more trump cards. When this effect activates, sets the speed of all enemies to 0 for 3 seconds, meaning Peter Strasser is more flexible for stopping enemies more frequently, meaning that she is now not just giving more defensive support, but also increases the damage dealt by Arbloss ships to the enemies that has 0 speed. If you have Peter Strasser, I highly recommend to go directly to this augment module and upgrading her skills and her stats and give her more suitable planes like this, what I have right here. More suitable ones than the ones I have over here. Okay, a little bit word. Now, why should you? Well, to be honest, I wanted to compare her to the Implacable from Royal Navy, and then second one is from Formidable, because if you remember, Formidable, let me just... Well, she is not upgraded, but when you fully upgrade her, it's this. Don't move an inch. And it goes like this. When launching an airstrike, 80% chance to reduce the speed of all enemies to 0 for 1.5 seconds. After that, enemy ships will regain their speed during the next 2.5 seconds. Skill always activates on the first airstrike of each battle. Now if you want to compare Peter Strasser now to Formidable, I am very confident to say that Peter Strasser is now very good position if you want to stop enemies and use Ironblood Fleet to deal some good damage. Now what about the Implacable? Well, she has the skill that goes like this. You can't escape. When this ship launches an airstrike, 100% chance to lower the speed of all enemies to 0 over 2 seconds. Keep it at 0 for 2 seconds, then gradually restores the speed to normal over 2 seconds. When this effect activates, target one. Blah, 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 blah. But anyway, is the first part. When this ship launches an airstrike, 100% chance to lower the speed of all enemies to 0 over 2 seconds. Then gradually restores their speed to normal over 2 seconds. Okay, there is a 4 seconds activation time. 4 seconds active time. What am I saying? Anyway. But of course there's this. The fleet where she is not. Where should I start? Each sortie for the first 3 battles fought by the fleet, this ship is not in. When that fleet's flagship fires her first main gun volley or launches an airstrike, expends all stacks of No Mercy and after 2 seconds activates one of the following effects based on the number of No Mercy stacks expended. 3 to 5 decreases the speed of all enemies by 20% for 2 seconds. 6 to 8 decreases the speed of all enemies by 60% for 2 seconds. 9 decreases speed of all enemies by 100% for 2 seconds. Now personally I have to say this is a good skill to compare because it stops enemies for 2 seconds, and after 2 seconds they will gradually gain their speeds in next 2 seconds. But Peter Strasser's new skill stops them completely for 3 seconds and increases your ship's damage dealt, iron bloods only, to 10%, and Paralyze in advance, now giving more cards to play with. I have to say she's in a really good spot. Of course I would like to demonstrate right over here, but I say this is a good thing just to end over here. If you have Peter Strasser, go for it. Use her and use different planes. Which one do you prefer? And also the main fleet, the Vanguard 2 also matters. Probably submarines as well. What do you think? What is your opinions about Peter Strasser after the augment module? Now about the Graf Zeppelin class and Peter Strasser, I am now adding that video's link over here at the end. Thank you so much for watching and listening. What is your opinion about Peter Strasser? Leave comments down below. Remember to hit the like button, subscribe if you want to support my work. Stay strong, take care of yourselves, and see you next time.